today. We're going to do hip flexors and low back, or core like Janet wants. Let's start on our backs. Start feet hips distance apart so that the low back and the sacrum can be flat to the earth. Let the arms open out wide. Take a deep breath in. Allow yourself to find some heaviness here. Relax, open through the shoulders. Slow, full breaths in through the nose and out through the nose using that ujjayi breath. How can you relax deeper into this space? Where can you find some more heaviness as you scan through the body, noticing how you physically feel in this moment? Gently rock the head side to side. Coming back to center. How do we feel mentally in this moment? Don't judge yourself for whatever shows up. Just become really clear and aware. It's okay if you feel scattered or worried or anxious. Take a deep breath in and out. Next inhale, arms are going to go overhead, eyes can stay closed. Just let them fall heavy. Really expanding and opening up to that heart space. Let's check in with how we feel emotionally in this moment. You might feel very vulnerable here. It's okay. Hopefully you're in a safe space in your home and you can be vulnerable. So allow yourself that space right here. Take a deep breath in. Relax what you can as you exhale out. Reminding yourself there's no wrong way to feel. And to stay tuned in to what you need throughout this practice. Listen to your body, listen to your breath, listen to your heart. Sliding the hands back and down by the side. Let's bring one hand to our heart, one hand to our belly. Set an intention for today's practice. What do you need? Breathe into your hands. Holding on to that intention as we start to move throughout this practice today. Again, inhale, arms are going to go up and overhead. As you exhale, find bridge pose. Hands come by the hips. Lift up through those hips. Soften the back of the neck. Inhale, arms overhead. Lower down, scoop through the core. Exhale, curl, bridge pose. Inhale, lift up, open up. Exhale, pull up and in. Inhale, open up. Exhale, push up and in. 2 more. Last one. Be really intentional with your movement and not so focused on how it looks, but how does this feel and how can I be stronger or easier at each moment. Arms are overhead again, relax the neck, maybe rock the head side to side. And we'll hug the right knee into the chest, give it a little squeeze here. Circle it around, find any movement that feels good. And notice where the sensations are showing up, okay? It might feel a little tight in one area, not as tight in another, so just become aware of that. That way we can begin to bring balance into our body throughout this practice. Hands down by the hips, send that right heel to the sky. Notice that my right knee is not straight just yet. We haven't warmed up our hamstrings. So if you want to bring your legs straight, make sure it's in a comfortable place and you're not forcing anything. We're going to take a bend, open up through your shoulders, relax your neck, and extend. to your deepest expression where you are now, right? So listen to your body and extend. So maybe some days you have that leg all the way down to your ears, but right now as we're warming up, we're listening to our body. We're coming right to that sensation, that resistance, breathing and releasing there, and then coming back out of it. 3 more of those. 3. 2, pull down through the belly. And 1. Pull that right knee into the chest. Give it a nice squeeze. Hold it here. Relax your low back, your sacrum, your tailbone. Relax your shoulders. Switch. Left knee comes in. Right foot plants. Pull that knee in, and then you can explore here or just hold in stillness. It's all about what you need throughout this practice, so continue to check in with that. Coming back into a neutral space here, let's extend that heel and then begin to bend. Relax, open the shoulders and extend wherever you can. Bend and extend, flex that foot. Bend, pull down through the belly and extend, bend, and extend. You got 3 more. Move with your breath. After that final round, pull that left knee into the chest. Nice squeeze here. Release the low back, the hips, the glutes. And plant those feet hips distance apart. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Hug both knees into the chest. Let's begin to rock and roll our way up to boat. Toes can touch or not. And rock onto your back. To boat. And onto your back. To boat. And onto your back. To boat. And hold. Maybe hands release. Tap the toes to the earth. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Open up your shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Come back into a canoe. Lengthen out long. And release down. Arms come overhead. Walk your hands and feet over to the right side of your mat. And then maybe cross that left leg up and over. So you're making like a banana shape out of the side body. Relax that left hip back and down. Relax the neck and shoulders. Coming back through center, walk those hands over to the other side, same thing. Right foot will come on top of the left if that's for you. And coming back through center, extend out through the whole body. Pulling the knees into the chest. We're going to rock and roll forward fold. Up to you how you get there. But as you land in that fold, take a moment to check in. How does my low back, my hamstrings, my neck, shoulders, how do they feel, and can I soften? 2 more breaths here. Inhale will halfway lift you. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise and reach tall mountain. Open up to that heart space. Exhale, forward fold. Empty breath, flow. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, tall mountain. Open up. Exhale, forward fold. Empty out. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise and reach tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, empty breath. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Slide your right foot back. You begin a left runner's lunge. Heart and eyes reach forward. Back knee comes down. Inhale, modified crescent. Lift up, open up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find 3-point or tabletop 3-point. Left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, runner's lunge. Foot comes back in between the hands. Heart and eyes reach forward. Back knee down. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, hands to the mat. Slowly step up to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, release the head and the neck. Inhale, rise and reach tall mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Reset that intention. Big full breath in as you relax the shoulders. Long, slow breath out. Inhale, sweeps hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, empty it all out. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, slide the left foot back to be in a right runner's lunge. Heart and eyes reach forward. Back knee down, inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find 3-point, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, runner's lunge, foot comes in between the hands, heart and eyes reach forward. Back knee down, inhale. Exhale, step it up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, inhale, rise and reach tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, empty the breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, slide your right foot back, be in a left runner's lunge, heart and eyes reach forward, back knee down, inhale, modified crescent. Open up, goddess arms, lift and lengthen through the low belly. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, split prep, no hands, use your core. Inhale, rise, modified crescent. Exhale, hands to the mat, find that 3-point, left leg lifts. Roll through that ankle one direction and then the other. Maybe point, flex that foot. Turn it out, turn it in. Square hips towards one another. Melt that right heel towards the ground. Exhale, cheetah nose to knee. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, cheetah nose to knee. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, runner's lunge, foot between the hands. Lengthen out. Back knee down. Inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, goddess arms, lift belly, lift heart. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the earth. Slowly step up to the top of your mat. Use your core. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen as you land. Exhale, fold. Take a bend in the left knee. Right hand reaches to the sky. Heart forward, tailbone back. Exhale, fold. Drop to the top of the head. Release the neck. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Switch sides. Right knee bends. Left hand lifts. Peel forward. Open out. Exhale, top hand down, relax the back of the neck here, and then we'll inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, slide the left foot back. We'll be in a right runner's lunge, heart and eyes reach forward. Back knee down, inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, goddess arms, open heart, lift belly. One more breath here, relax shoulders, engage core. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, split prep. No hands. If you can, find balance. Inhale, rise, modified crescent. Lift up, lengthen up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Find 3-point as the right leg lifts to the sky. This time, roll through that ankle one direction and then the other. Square the hips. Relax the neck. Exhale, cheetah nose to knee. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, runner's lunge, foot between the hands, get long. Back knee down, inhale, modified crescent. Exhale, goddess arms. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly step up to the top of your mat and release. Inhale, we'll halfway lift us. Exhale, fold. Walk hands over to the right side of your mat. Drop to the top of the head, release. Breathe slowly as we find the stillness on this side. Slowly come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, relax, and then make your way over to the left side. Hands can always be on blocks here, guys. Knees can always be bent. Listen to what your body needs in this moment. Use your breath and awareness to come back to your intention for today's practice. Slowly start to make your way back to center. Take another inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, palm the mat. Find your way back to plank, choosing a chaturanga flow, or skip it, find downward facing dog. Listen to what your body needs as we continue to move through this practice, building heat. Inhale, right leg will lift to the sky, 3-point. Take a bend in this knee this time. Stack and open your hips. Let that foot get really heavy, like it's coming towards your left armpit. Relax the top of the head down. Inhale brings us back to 3-point. Exhale, mountain climber prep. Tap your right knee to your right elbow. Inhale back to 3-point. Exhale, mountain climber prep. Inhale, 3-point. One more. Exhale, mountain climber prep, or arm balance here if you'd like to take that arm balance. Inhale brings us all back to 3-point as you're ready. Exhale, lizard lunge. So start to bring that right foot on the outside of that right hand. Heart and eyes reach forward. And we're just going to do a little bit of rocking here. Just kind of gentle bounces forward and back. Keep engaging and lifting through that belly. Relax and open up to those shoulders. Back knee comes down, and then as you begin to fold, think about Sphinx if you want to come down to forearms. So forearms to the earth, and then peel the heart forward instead of folding and collapsing down. Working towards that opening is also going to lengthen to that back hip flexor, right? Relax what you can, where you can. Slowly coming up into your hands. If you have folded, turn the right toes out to the right side of you and begin to dip the left hip down towards the ground. Come back to center, toes back to the front of the mat. Open out to the side and back to center. So my toes are opening to the right side of my mat, and then my toes are coming back to the front parallel. Protecting our knee through this rotation in our left hip. Back to the front. Last one, out. And back. Start to heel toe that right foot back between the hands. Find an active runner's lunge, and then rotate your way into a side lunge skandasana. Right toes turn out, left toes start to pop up. This may be our edge today, or we're able to go a little bit deeper. Slowly lower the body, bringing the right knee and toes in the same direction. Really being mindful of that placement here. Sometimes I like to use that right arm to press open through that right hip. Really encouraging the tailbone to drop down. Lift up to the belly, relax the neck and shoulders. Coming up through center, we're going to find like a grounded goddess, horse pose. Toes are out, heels are in. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Press up high into the ball of the right foot and lower it down. Press up high into the ball of the left foot and lower it down. Lift your belly, relax your neck, press up high right foot and down. Left foot and down. One more round. Right foot and down. Left foot and down. Start to pulse those hips down to the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, knees back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wide-legged forward fold. Drop the top of the head down. Relax. Release. Hands can go where you like. We're here 3 breaths. Gently releasing any binds that you have. Take an inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, walk your hands to the top of your mat, runner's lunge, and then shifting into that grounded airplane, shift and lift. Left toes are going to tap the right heel, 5, and lift. 4, and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Take a bend in that left knee. Reach that heel towards the sky. Pump the heel to the sky. 5, 4. Scoop your belly in. 3. Relax your neck. 2, and 1. Left knee pulls into the chest. Curl the forehead to the knee. 3, 2, and 1. Rise for stork. Look forward. Rise up. Coming into a crescent lunge. Left foot is going to slide behind us. Scoop up through that belly. Twisting here. Right hand pulls back and open. Archer's lunge. Twisting to the right side of us. Squeeze to that belly. Right hand reaches down towards our thigh, our back thigh. Left arm reaches up. Ooh, pull out of that hip flexor. Squeeze. Relax your neck. Slowly come down, runner's lunge. 3-point, right leg lifts to the sky. Take a bend in this knee, stack and open your hips. Stay here or play if you want to come down to one or both forearms. You can always begin to find balance by lifting that right hand. Or move right into flip dog or wild thing. Totally up to you. 3 more breaths. Coming back into 3-point, we'll exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolls us forward, high plank. Choose your flow here. As you land in that downward facing dog, cleansing breath in. Let it go. Inhale, rises us high up on our tippy toes. Exhale, forward fold, top of the mat. Step, walk, or hop your way there. Inhale, halfway lifts us. Exhale, folds us deep. Inhale, rise, tall mountain, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, empty it out. Inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, palm the mat. Find your way back to that plank. Choose your flow. Landing in that downward facing dog, ground through those heels, lift through the belly, relax through the head. Inhale is going to take our left leg to the sky, 3-point. Take a bend in this knee, stack to open the hips. Really let that foot fall heavy towards the right armpit. Keep the shoulders nice and square towards the mat. Inhale brings us back up to 3-point. We got 3 of those mountain climber preps, or 2 and an arm balance, up to you. As you meet back in that 3-point, let's exhale, runner's lunge, foot between the hands. Sorry, lizard. Heel toe that foot to the left, hands on the inside. Find a few little shifts here, rocking that weight forward and back. Encouraging that right hip flexor to release. Giving yourself some love in this moment, and then that back knee starts to come down. If you decide to fold here, remember to pull the chest forward through those forearms or through those triceps. Lengthen out, breathe, and soften where you can. Last few moments. We'll slowly come back up into our hands if we folded. Taking the left toes out to the left, twist, and back to center. About 5 to 7 rounds here. Just explore. Last one. Coming back into that active runner's lunge. Heel toe your foot between your hands. We're moving into Skandasana side lunge. Rotate to the right side of you. Left toes turn out. Right toes pop up towards the sky. Keeping the left knee and toes in the same direction as you sink a little bit deeper here. Where can you relax? Where can you soften? Where can you lengthen? Last 2 breaths. We'll start to make our way back into that horse pose. So toes are out, heels are in. Ground down through those hands. Keep the hips in line with the knees. Press up high into the balls of both feet and lower down. Both and lower down. Both and lower down. Up and lower down. Few more rounds, or up and hold. Lifting belly, lengthening heart away from tailbone. And lower those heels down. Take that wide-legged forward fold. Shift your feet parallel to the short edge of your mat. Drop your head down. Your choice here will be here for about 7 breaths. So find any inversion that you would like, any shoulder bind that you would like, maybe reaching for big toes, or you can take a few more of those side lunges. It's really up to you. Just be mindful as you start to go towards a space that you're going towards it because you want to and not because you think you should, right? And if you're doing an inversion, that you're being mindful about the neck, the shoulders. I would stay protected here. Last few moments wherever you are. And then on your next inhale, you'll halfway lift and lengthen, releasing any binds. Exhale, fold, start to rotate to the front of your mat, runner's lunge. Shifting forward into that grounded airplane, right foot lifts. Then we tap the back of the left heel. 5, 4, maintaining that length in the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Take a bend in that knee, send that heel towards the sky, pump it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right knee comes towards the forehead here. We curl and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Look forward, stork. Find balance and stability here. Ground down, release tension. And then let's find crescent lunge. Right foot slides to the back of the mat. Shifting into that archer's lunge. Left hand is going to peel behind this here. Squeeze in. Left hand reaches for your back thigh. Right hand reaches up and over, maybe looking down. Exhale finds runner's lunge. Use your core through that transition. Left leg then lifts to the sky, 3-point. Take a bend in this knee. Stack and open your hips. Stay here or play with any variation you're working on. Two more breaths wherever you decided to go. And that brings us back into our 3-point, landing in a downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to our bellies. Shifting the hips side to side. Inhale, rise, cobra, back bend. Hands are underneath the shoulders, press from the tops of the feet. Lift belly, lift heart. Pull elbows back and in. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra, back bend, lift up, scoop in the core. Exhale, lower down. This time, no hands. Inhale, cobra, back bend, lift up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more, cobra, back bend, lift up. And lower. Last one, inhale. Exhale, lower. Shift the hips side to side. Bring the hands up more in line with the head and kind of roll through those shoulders. Pressing back into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart. Open up to that heart space. If you want more here, let's go ahead into puppy. So high up on the knees. Hips align with the knees, and then the chest melts down towards the earth. Opening up to that heart space. Slowly transitioning your way back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky, 3-point. Exhale, pigeon. Slide the right knee towards the right wrist. Find balance in between those legs. Slide that left foot back. So before we go any deeper, if this is bothering your right knee, take the same variation on your back for reclined pigeon. If you're with us, we're going to do a couple of different exercises here. Options here, I won't call them exercises. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee, pull in through your belly, lift your heart. Relax where you can. Engage your core. Gently release that knee down to the ground. As you exhale, begin to fold gently to your edge of sensation, and then inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, gently fold. Inhale to lift. 3 more. Two options from here: to fold or to take a bind. Taking a bend in that back knee, reaching back for that foot or ankle. Maybe you have the space to slide the toes into that elbow crease or reach for a bind. Wherever you do decide to go, that we're still opening up our heart, still lengthening that left hip down towards the ground. Last 2 breaths. Gently release that foot down. Finding your way back to a downward facing dog. Take whatever movements you need along the way. And as you land in that downward facing dog, take a deep cleansing breath to reset that intention for today's practice. Inhale, left leg is going to lift to the sky. Exhale, pigeon pose. Slide that left knee to the top of the mat. Find balance in between the hips. Lengthen through the chest, and then decide, is this right for me on this side? Do I need to take this variation on my back? Right? Check in with your knee. Left foot is flexed and active as we begin to tuck the right toes. Lift that right knee off of the mat. Open up and expand through the heart space. Notice where the shimmy shakes are coming from, and can you find ease somewhere as you engage and lengthen the low core. Releasing that foot down to the ground. Let's take 5 rounds of fold. Lengthen the low back and lift. Fold, lengthen, and lift. Lengthen. 2 more. After that final one, decide if you want to fold here or take that quad stretch, reaching back for that foot or ankle. Take the variation that's working best for you on this side. It might not look the same as the first side. Gently release that foot down or come out of your pigeon, however you need to. Bring yourself back to that downward facing dog. Just as a transition here, we're going to inhale, rise high up on the tippy toes. Exhale, jump through to seated. Scoop that belly up and in. Have a seat on the bum. We'll make our way onto our spines. Coming right back to where we started practice. Feet are planted, hips distance apart, arms are open, palms up to the sky. Let the knees fall to the left side of you. Right knee wants to get really heavy. So if you're not feeling any sensation at all here, just kind of stuck, you want to play with adding a little bit more. Take the left foot and add it on top. Now if that causes any kind of pain or discomfort inside of the right knee or left knee, back out of that shape. What can you let go of here? Gently release that foot, come back to center, a little wiggle here, right and left, and then let the knees fall to the right side of you. Deciding if you want to prop that right foot on top of the left knee or stay just where you are. Arms again are open, heart is open, relax where you can. Last 2 breaths. And those knees begin to come back to center. Gently unwind, take them to the left, take them to the right, and then take any final movement you need to complete this practice today. And as you are ready, releasing out into your version of Shavasana. Allow yourself to feel vulnerable, supported, safe. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Allowing the body and the mind to rest. Shavasana. Slowly beginning to come back to your breath, taking a deep inhale in. Long, slow exhale out. And beginning to bring movement back into your body any way that feels good. So you can circle your wrists, your ankles. You can just breathe deeper. Take side body stretches. Just move intuitively. There's no wrong way to do it. And then pausing for just a moment on your back, your side, or maybe you're already seated. And check in with yourself. How do I feel physically, mentally, and emotionally right now in this moment without attaching any judgment into that space? And after you've done that final check-in, begin to join me in an easy seated position, bringing the hands to heart center, closing out this practice in a seat of gratitude. Gratitude for this physical body, for this moment, for this opportunity to practice and move together. Finally, gratitude for the intention that you set for today. May you carry it with you. Big full breath in. Long, slow breath out. We'll bring the thumbs up to the forehead. Finding gratitude for one another and the energy that we just shared. Namaste, friends. Namaste. Namaste. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for joining us today here at Cat Harmon Yoga. I hope that you enjoyed this class. This is One of our live Zoom classes on Friday is 12 to 12:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd love to join us, head over to katharmonyoga.com. All are welcome, of course. The classes are donation-based. And if you ever feel called to donate for any of these videos, the links are also at katharmonyoga.com. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful day.